We certainly are, and the weather conditions are just perfect for splashing into a brand new pool. How about the look of this one? How about we head into women's qualifier Pool A? There are some giants lurking here. First up, the hometown heroine Spain up against the one challenger side who no one wants to face tomorrow, China. First in Dubai, top in Montevideo, faultless in Krakow. One loss all season and some stunning stats and tries en route. Don't take your eyes off Xiao Qian wearing number 11. She was the top try scorer on the Challenger Series, but also Gu Yao Yao wearing 5 is omnipresent. She pulls the string, she kicks the goals, she runs the punching line through the midfield. There's so much talent in this China squad. Whilst Wanda Stella in 25 for Las Leonas is the teenage sensation who just keeps on giving. 8 tries in her rookie season in a struggling Leonas side who will be so well supported this afternoon. What a week these women have had. We've seen the open training sessions really well attended. We've seen the autograph hunters, the selfie seekers, and yesterday's gorgeous jersey presentation with all of their families and friends in attendance. Their head coach, Maria Rivera, has spoken this week about the importance of the next few days to inspire the next generation of Leonas in Madrid, in Spain, all over the world. And here they come. What an opportunity for these women. What a tester this is for their opening fixture before vociferous home support. It was China who ran out winners the last time these two sides met. 31-0. They triumphed in Hamilton in 2020, despite Las Leonas historically dominating this head-to-head. Recent bragging rights all belonging to the women in red, as those kneeling on the floor, trailing home in 12th this year on the HSBC 7 Series, know that they have it all to do beneath the watchful eye of Maggie Kogger-Orr. Well, China have been in Europe for some time now, having been out here for the final challenger event in Krakow. They've been travelling with a squad of 30. Such is the depth in Chinese women's rugby right about now. So many athletes to choose from. But unsurprisingly, the woman getting us underway is one of the brightest of all those shining stars. Gu Yao Yao, we've mentioned her already. We'll say her name a few times more, I suspect. The darlings of the Challenger Series against the home outfit who've been a core side for a decade. This is China, left to right, up against Spain. Back. Knock-on advantage for the home side, who head down at the short side through the scampering feet of Olivia Fresnada. Advantage over. Now they play it open. Scrum advantage over. And straight over the ball there was Yuho. Juana Stella, the 17-year-old, who hasn't skipped a beat since her first introduction to the series. Maya Albina, often the captain of the side, but this weekend those responsibilities falling to Anne Fernandez de Corres, who's also in the starting lineup. Through the hands of Maria Calvo, it's a tricksy bouncing ball, but it's gathered, and it's a long way home for Olivia Fresnada. Has she got the pace to outrun a chasing Suki? No, brought down on the 10-metre line. What an opportunistic territorial gain for Las Leonas. Tackle made there by Liu Xiaoqian, but coming unstuck at the breakdown and giving Las Leonas a real foothold here. So many options to the left. There's a 4-on-1. Needed to go. Does go. Infield, beneath the edge. It's a splashdown for the skipper. And Fernandez de Corres making Spanish hearts soar in Madrid.
Well, it's a timely turnover and run right here. It was all a bit messy. They go all in defensively, they miss it, and it's Fresnada who's the one that comes up in their own 22. She makes a good decision at the end of this run, though, just to pull up and buy time for a support player to come in and secure the ball. And from there, I think it was a beautiful pass from Calvo. Right under, that allows them to get it out wide to left-hand side, and it's the skipper, de Corres, who gets the first score on home soil.
Well, it's the full 7-pointer and 2 minutes gone. It's been breathless stuff, but the home side laying down a marker of their own.
Oh, we love Maria Calvo as well. I'm sure she'll have something to say before it's all said and done this weekend.
We'll get you one of those signs, Katie.
Available. Oh, good restart too. Indecision there from China. First time they've had a bit of pressure on them. Perfectly weighted.
Who's in here? I'll tell you what, it's going to be absolutely fascinating seeing how China handle pressure. They've hardly had any on the challenger, have things their own way on so many occasions. Let's see how they withstand a little bit of exertion, some indecision, some pressure, some Spanish line speed. Pass absolutely whipped across the face of that Spanish line speed by Yuhe, and then on to Zhao Qian. Yuhe in support. Can't quite find her mark, knocked on. Oh, and ref's going to the pocket. It's Maria Calvo slapping that one down. A moment of ill discipline, and China will absolutely thrive with a player advantage.
Oh, it's hard in that situation there. She did target the ball to stop that distribution going. It's a nice line run by Hyun Ting.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, and the hands on the head say, yeah, that's my bad. You can't have these moments in these types of games. This would be huge for China if they can take full toll of this. Need some points.
Time is off for a sub. So China will feed the scrum just inside the Spanish half, and to absolutely no one's surprise, hands on hips. Okay, time on. Towards this near touchline is Liu Zhaoqian. 2 Rugby World Cups in the sevens, off to Tokyo a few years ago, and just resplendent ball in hand on the challenger. They'll look to get it to her, and now they do. And there's the hitch kick, heads back in field, but well wrapped up there. Fine tackle from Juan Estella. They're just so crisp. Oh, this Chinese outfit. They keep the ball alive remarkably well. Just about, oh, gets the offload away. It's blinking, you'll miss it. Stop all the tricks coming out of the crimson and golden box. As Yan Meiling thunders over in the corner. She did brilliantly well to keep that going.
She did brilliantly well to get into support play. You can see the drop off here after nice line on the edge. Good pass in behind from Xu Shi, and it's the skipper, both skippers stepping up for their sides. Bit of an in and away, great footwork, turns the defender inside and out. And Stella, and what a reply from China.
Seven scores on the challenger this year for Yan Meiling. 1 now in the qualifier event. Conversion doesn't quite have the gas it required, but China back in this. And a really tough day to be a moth in Madrid. Get the ball off the field.
We're just picking them off there, China, and that one, mother up. A numerical advantage. Needed that.
Well, there's moths on the pitch and an errant ball too. Stella hoofs that away. It's just about still inside the dead ball area, so there is a job to be done. Time on. Tell you what, I want one of the Cantabrana signs, and I want one of those, Katie.
One of those fans?
What are you up to at half-time?
Oh, I'm down there straight away. I'll get you one.
Thanks, you're a pal. Restart so difficult to receive in this high and blazing sunlight, and it's gathered by China, looking to make it 2 on the spin. And now here is Gu Yao Yao through the midfield, but the ball skittling loose. Oh, it's not going to be another, is it? Spain down to 5.
Oh, the one play away. From coming up to their full complement, but another errant hand gets in there. They're going to have one shot, I think, are they? Or no, they're going to get Calvo back. Let's have a look here. Go. Oh, yeah, just that little hit there. That's fair enough, too, right in front of the referee.
First yellow.
So they're going to go from 5 back to 6, but still a very tough assignment here defensively for Spain.
Okay, time on. Back up to 6 now, the Spaniards. Crouch! Which is good timing. Bind! China will feed this, and they have options to either flank. It's Yao Yao, the playmaker, lurking behind the set piece, but setting off with her eyes alight is Yuhu, who gets the pass away on the wing. Look at the footwork and the power from Du Xianrong. She's all down 4 meters shy. Just needs to get the passes to stick here. Just need to get the ball to that woman there. Liu Zhaoqian thought she got that down, but no. Oh, wow. Denied by the prodigious Juan Estella. Is there anything she can't do?
Look at her here. Could have easily given her targets the ball. Wow, what a play. What an absolute play defensively from Stella. Well, that is why she has been nominated one of the potential nominees for Rookie of the Year for plays like that. Heads up.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Normally, when the ball is in the hands of China's number 11, that is game over. Shut the book. We're done. But no, not when Juana Stella is around. And there is a spot on the series next year up for grabs.
Yeah. Use it.
I don't think it's going to go very far. They're just playing for half-time there, Spain. Just keep it tight. Try and not leak any more points. And then after the half, get back to your full complement.
Poland and Japan still to come today, and also for these two outfits in Pool A, which is thick with sides that will really fancy a spot on the season.
Release!
In the series next year. And Spain, as you said, just eating away at the half, eating away at the yellow card. The two will finish at about the same time. China not defending with any great urgency here. They should be really looking to get this ball back.
You think they'll be challenging at the ruck and trying to counter-ruck here, but if Spain are able to keep the lead on, make some space as well, you'd say you'd be pretty happy when you've had 2 yellow cards in one half.
I don't know what they're feeding the teenagers in Madrid, but Jimena Blanca-Hortiguera made about 10 metres there through contact, and now it's the other team. Stella, fresh from ripping the ball from the grasp of China. Here is Amaya Urbina, all of that experience, the Olympian, marshalling the troops around her and winning the penalty too.
Oh, that is great game management from Spain. That is outstanding, in fact. Well done.
Well, they've got Paula Requena back again. They've sent it into the stands as well. They should, because what a perfect opportunity this is for them to regroup. Back up to 7 women. And with 7 points on the scoreboard too, they lead China, the challenger champions, by 2 points at the break.
Who's the captain, guys? Captain? We just need to get to the scrums quicker. You can just tell her. We need to get to the scrums quicker to set up. Okay.
We're at the Estadio Civitas Metropolitano, home of Atletico Madrid, where Spain, before their home crowd, have somehow managed to weather an almighty storm in the first half against China. 2 yellow cards and conceding early doors. 7 points to 5, and it will be fascinating, Katie, to see how China respond after not having absorbed all that much pressure all season long.
Well, I think this first score after the half will be integral for them. I think if they're able to get a score here, the confidence they will get out of that will be absolutely massive.
Agreed.
There's still a long way to go, but they just have to be composed in this situation.
Well, they set up a switch play for Chen Kuyi, but she was hauled down just short of halfway.
Advantage over!
Again, they won't be used to having quite as many tackles made on them. These core series sides are made of stern stuff. And SVNS's defence, which might have creeped against the mightier teams on the series, is proving stern as the tap tackle reins in and hauls down the tall figure of Wan Hongting. Turnover good. Maria Ribera's side rising with the ball, and their first score, remember, was the result of a moment of opportunism. Chase is on. Has she got the footwork? Has Eva Aguirre got the pace? No. 5 metres shy. Penalty going the way of Spain, and a yellow card this time shown to the women in red. It's Du Xingrong who will lead us for 2 minutes.
Yeah, when you're in the zone, you have to be ultra disciplined, and that was a cynical play, so that's why she will sit down for 2 minutes. You talk about responses. Well, you saw the response of Spain when they had the yellow card. Now China needs something similar, but what China are doing defensively, they're going to have a halfback, and there's no one marking the left-hand side for Spain.
Just need to get this away cleanly, and they do, despite the pressure there at the base of the scrum from China. 3 yellow cards in Krakow, 1 already here in Madrid, and now it's a 1v1 on the wing, and Zing Rong manages to make her tackle, but not before it can be placed backwards by Raquena, stolen by China. Oh, it's all going on out there. Haunting now, carrying, fending, stepping, whipped away by Yuhu. This now is Yao Yao. She's so dangerous, but opts instead to pop it up.
Tackle!
Double tackles made. Someone's going to have to play scrum off. Someone's going to have to play it soon, because Spain want their hands back on the ball. Before their home crowd, in their home tournament, with their survival on the line. And look at the shots.
Not rolling.
Yeah, it was a dominant tackle, but unfortunately couldn't roll away, so China, I'm sure, will play it slow.
5, 8.
Well, 2 changes
12 red.
being made. Marta Cantabrana is on for Spain, and Sun Yue arrives for China, making her series debut.
All good?
China, of course, a core team back in 2019, and again all the way back in 2014.
A lot of teams will take the line out here and get out of their own territory, but I like this move. You're down, you need to own possession, so have a go and keep ball in hand.
Yang Fei Fei taps it and sets off with all of the dainty, deft footwork that we've come to know her for, but she is well wrapped up there. Told to release is Lide Erbina. 3 Chinese flyers in the backfield, but it's the direct route that Kuyi takes. Look at her go. 15 meters, snaffled up in a heartbeat, but over the ball was Spain. A brilliant rip and a steal. And now the chance to counter. They're awfully bunched in the midfield. So Arrere carries hard, ball in 2 hands, allows them to establish their shape once more. Coast to coast an option, but instead it's the hard run from Maria Calvo.
Lost control.
Just knocked on though, through contacts, and the ball's back with China with the scrum put in.
Scrum.
Well, with 3 minutes gone in the second half and multiple subs getting made, and China have negotiated that yellow card pretty well, haven't leaked any points, probably dominated more so than anything, especially in possession. So tactically, coaches using their substitutes right now, a massive opportunity here for China to get a boost. They've done the hard work to hold on to their ball. Now can they get over the line and score?
Crouch.
Well, we've got Xiao Can over in the sunshine and lurking in the shades.
Okay.
Sun Yue.
Hold the weight.
I'll tell you
Don't
one
pull
thing.
back.
My old coach, Gordon Titchens, is the director of rugby for the Chinese women's program, and he is an absolute freak on the fitness, so I know they'll be standing up to that for sure.
Set.
Well, when you see them in the flash, up close and personal, they are all just so lean and strong and powerful looking. They've been working incredibly hard on their conditioning on this trip they've made to Europe. Away it comes. Through the hands of Kei, who's still got it and still going. She likes that left-handed fend, does China's number 7. Fei Fei to the base. Calling for it is Yue. She in turn has Sing Rong for company, just passes that one over. Here you go, you have a crack. The Spanish defence is up to all sorts. Tackles raining in, that one there from Cantabrana. Fresh into the fray. Now there's options. Now Xiao Qian wants it out on the wing. She's just got Beatriz Dominguez to beat, but infield she heads. Ball under one arm. Oh, and the waves have just parted for her. And Liu Xiaoqian, welcome to Madrid. Welcome back to the sports top table. We suspect she'll score a couple more before she's done this weekend.
What is impressive about this is the runners off the ball, withdrawing defenders. She takes it out wide, and let's see, Xiao Shang does extremely well. Ball in 2 hands, but look at her vision here. She'll dummy the first runner, she'll dummy the second one, and then the hole opens in that third hole, and she just goes through. That all-important first score in the half is China's.
Well, this fixture has felt so who will blink first, poised on a knife edge, but perhaps the stalemate ends there. through the woman who's bagged 28 tries over 3 challenger events this year. She is prolific. And you mentioned the fitness, Katie. She's stayed on. She'll go the distance if she can.
You need your top players on, and she's definitely one of them for China, so she was on for sure. Here we go, counter it goes.
They want it back, they've got it back. Yang Feifei takes the sting out of this one, calls for calm.
No need to rush here. They're going to call the scrum before they tapped it. Now they're going to call the scrum because the clock still has to run. So their game management, again, is for China. Here's the counter. They punch through, so that's okay. They push the ball back. Their ball is out and exposed. And there's the penalty from the angle. This is where China can close this game out on the home team.
Set.
Du Jinrong waiting at first receiver, hands on knees here. She has it now. So swiftly away though, the hitch kick from Sin Yue, and now the little switch. And waiting for it is their top try scorer for the season.
Advantage, high tackle.
She's as powerful as she is pacey. Now they've got an advantage to play with. And again, in absolutely no rush whatsoever.
It's just over the shoulder for
30 seconds to go. They're in the lead. What's the call from the skip?
High tackle.
I'd say you go to the scrum again.
Scrum.
Here we go. So all they need to do is pack this down, win it, and then kick it out and take the dub. What a strong second half from China when they were down a player with a yellow card, being able to absorb that. And the timing of them bringing those substitutes on to close the second part out in the second half. Fantastic.
Cisco, just keep an eye on them. We're going to do a blood sub, or...
There's such an interesting conversation to be had about what prepares sides better for this stage of the season. Is it the top flight competition week in, week out? Or perhaps in this case for China, is it the fact that they've been able to build incredible squad depth because they've been so dominant on the challenger? I suspect the former is the one that ultimately you want, but it does mean that they've got a squad of 30 with them out here in Madrid, and they trust each and every one.
Yeah, exactly right, and they've had a sustained build-up, you know, and I think that's obviously important. You can hear the comms coming over the wrist mic as well, so that's always a positive thing when you are able to build such a deep squad like they have.
Out and into the sunshine. Yue now manages to find Jinrong, and now this is Xiao Qian who will run it from the field and says enough is enough. China have their scalp, their first win of the weekend. They have come to Madrid in search of one thing, and that is a spot on the series next year. It all comes down to Sunday, of course, but for now, that is job one done. China defeating Las Leonas by 12 points to 7. Japanese and all the experience of Su Yue for China, also waiting, champing at the bit, and ready to get stuck into this derby. Well, we've had some pretty good fans already, but I'll tell you what, you know you're good when you get your own graphic, when we've got something ready to go to identify you, to celebrate your commitment to the 7 series. Here they come, China in their black altered strip, Japan in their red and white ones. That victory over Poland, look at that, bageling their European rivals, 32-0. China up first, and then Las Leonas up tomorrow. China had to squeak past Las Leonas, but they eventually got it done, and it was so impressive to see a side who've had things their own way this season on the Challenger Series, forced to problem solve. Cisco Lopez gets the whistle for this one, which pits 2 really effervescent outfits against one another. Japan, well, they play like popping candy. Offloads, lightning quick rucks, and a possession game which just won't quit. China wield a scimitar each and every time they lace up, and they do so for the full 14 minutes. They are slick and confident, and they would love to claim the bragging rights in this Asian qualifier derby. It is China who will get us underway. Gu Yao Yao with the honours, raises the ball before hoofing it to Spanish skies. And uprising it and claiming it is Chiharu Nakamura. Well, the defensive appetite for China, a real statement of intent off that one, driving Japan back and denying them the quick ruck ball that they so crave. Messy passes, the pressure telling immediately, and rising with that one is Liu Xiaoqian, the Challenger Series leading try scorer. Got one already for the weekend. Now the tall figure of Ruan Hongting, the Olympian. carrying hard. Back the same way it goes. Zhao Qian this time in as first receiver. Back it's placed, up it's gathered. Mei Ling now finds herself in a double tackle. We don't see this many phases often from the Chinese. They're being forced to play here, to play patiently. The little stutter step from Yao Yao. Looking to bamboozle the defenders, but they made their tackle there all right. Managed to turn it over too.
Release!
Here come Japan. It's their time to be patient. Honoka Tsusumi with a try already on her tally, just scanning, just popping it down the short side, and now Kajiki through to Nakamura.
Play on.
Chinese player flew up in defense there, and she stayed down off the back of the hit. Referee being asked to pay attention to the player that is still down and injured, but for now there's a race on, a race to wrap up and envelop Arisa Nishi.
Advantage.
Player still down
Not
in
rolling.
the backfield, but we're playing on, and Japan doing so with an advantage.
Advantage is over.
Carlton Hunter is still alongside me, but this has been such a breathless passage of play. He hasn't had the chance to say a thing, but now the fizz up and over the top. It finds Yume Hirano. And Hirano will stick it down and make it count, and it's first blood to Japan. Katie.
Well done. Very clear, just as tight as those players on the field.
Okay.
You had to go long there.
Thank you.
But defensively was where they got it going, Japan, way before this, and it was Tsutsumi who got the turnover. The back end of it after multiple phases was Hirano getting the score, but the composure under fire from the Japanese team is a real feature.
Injured player.
Conversion sticks, so it was the number 7 who scored it, and it's 7 we now read on the score sheet. Do we not give Japan enough credit for their work on the floor, Katie? It feels like we've hardly spoken about it this year, but it's been a real characteristic of their opening 2 qualifier matches.
Yeah, I think technically that's where they really shine, is in those close quarters, and because they are so good, I think at their defensive assignments where they go really low, it allows them, the second player in, or the tackler, to really challenge for the ball at the breakdown. I think that's an area that I think they've used as a strength and built their game around off that. So I think that's something here. Teams might think they're small, they're going to run over the top of them, because their technique tackle-wise is good, and then their technique over the ball is so good, that's where they get a lot of joy.
Tomorrow, we will get Japan up against Spain. That one of the remaining matches in this pool. That is a mouth-watering prospect. Based on what we've just seen from Spain, and you can just see Chile warming up outside by that famous flag at Atletico Madrid Stadium here. Based on what we've just seen from Spain, they're going to prove a bit of a handful for Japan?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And I think the reason why is they're built similarly in terms of their makeup and their squad, and also Spain are very good at the breakdown, and they don't mind that type of game, and the offload as well, where they have a lot of support players, the Spanish, is very similar to what the Japanese do too. So I think that's why they mirror each other so closely, and I think that's why it's going to be such an intriguing type of match. The thing for the Spanish team in their second game, their discipline was a lot better, and Japan a very disciplined side right from the jump. So I think that's something both teams, if they keep their discipline, it's always going to be close.
China won't be disheartened, though, by what we've just seen in the opening exchanges, will they? There was so much pressure early on, and they are a side that once they find their rhythm in a game, once they start to make those definitive line breaks, they're pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, and plus, like you spoke about, they know each other so well because they play against each other in the Asian Championship, and when you're playing your neighbour, it's always a dirty and nasty type of affair because you've got that tradition, and that's why it's so intense, and that's why they don't give a quarter, and that's why mentally both sides are always on when they play each other. And when you get that rivalry, it always lifts in intensity and lifts your performance because you don't want to lose to the other one.
And that's the case, isn't it? Even though these are two sides who don't show their emotions quite as much as perhaps the South American nations, they've got great poker faces when they're out on the field, but they will feel that intensity.
I was just looking at both of the squads just before they ran out in the tunnels, and the skipper for Japan, Hirano, who's normally, like you say, a pretty cool customer, was smacking her shoulders, getting ready, getting their head going. And the Chinese were just very stoic. And I think the different two approaches were very different. But their skipper was, you can tell, mentally straight on the ball.
As we've seen all 8 sides in this qualifier event on the women's side of the competition, Katie. Have there been any surprise packages on your part?
I don't know if there's been any surprises. We sort of knew the ones that were coming in with some heat from the qualifiers, and they've turned up, and we knew the ones coming, the ones on the series that are challenging are always going to be there or thereabouts and a bit more polished on day one.
Just wait for my whistle. Just wait for the
What's
whistle.
great news is that Liu Xiaoqian has been able to walk off unassisted, looking a little unsteady on her feet, but so good to see her back on her feet. And we have been joined by her assistant coach, Rocky Khan. Rocky, thank you so much for swinging by. Your assessment of the opening 3.5 minutes we've just seen.
Yeah, it's Japan's really come to play, and it's a good opportunity for our girls to see where we're at against the core team as well. And yeah, we've got a game on our hands now.
Hey Rocky, it's Katie. Good to see you and part of the crew for the Chinese. How was your language skills?
It's getting there. It's a little bit broken, a little bit like my English, but I'm trying.
So for you as a coach, what's been the thing you've tried to employ on this Chinese outfit?
The girls can play. They got a lot of ability. It's just trying to instill a bit of confidence in their play as well, and to really back themselves. We did really well in that Challenger series, and this tournament's a step up, but we're going to give it a good crack and see how we go.
You've got such resource behind you. You're really backed by the union by the looks of it, particularly with the travelling squad of 30. What have you been working on over the last few weeks as an outfit, and how difficult has it been narrowing 30 down to your matchday squad?
The touring squad's 30, but we've got 13 players and 12 management. It's still a big management squad, but the first week was just focusing on a tournament in Poland, and last week we were in Alicante down in Spain, having a week off recovery, and then spent this week in Madrid trying to prepare for this tournament as well.
I know, Rocky, when you played for the New Zealand Sevens team, you're always one of the fittest players going around. I know you're still running around. Are you having a jam when it comes to training? Are you still a show-off?
I tried to now and then, but my body can't last anymore.
Set!
So it's Japan here with the put-in at the scrum here. Once you get your hands on the ball, what will you be asking of the girls? What will you be hoping that they do with it?
We'll try and play to our strengths, try and use the ball and try and play the ball to the space and try and create opportunity and try and score some tries from there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rocky. Fascinating to get your insight. We'll let you focus on what is to come in this one, because it is Japan with the ball. Although, as I say that, they squirt it forwards and gift it back to China.
Great defence, though, from the Chinese. They had numbers there which caused the confusion from the Japanese. This is probably the first time today they've been under pressure. Only one score ahead, so by no means is this safe. And normally from here, the so is short. They normally take it up in the middle, but going a bit wider, got the right line and timing wrong there. So that's great D, you'd have to say, from the Chinese. And look at them, they don't seem overly concerned with what's coming at them offensively.
Well, this is as wide as the gap has ever been at full time between these two sides. Never been a margin on the series of more than 7. You mentioned that they don't seem overly concerned, China. They have just lost their talismanic attacker. Liu Xiaoqian won't be playing any further part in this match,
You've been subbed already,
imagine.
if you guys can treat her
it does
off of
look
the
as
field,
though
if you
there's
feel
going
comfortable
to be
her
a
off the field.
change here. So shorn of 2 individuals already.
Oh, it looks like a shoulder too, right shoulder, if anything. There's an unusual contact, maybe just got caught at a funny angle. Hopefully she's all right moving forward. That's the thing in these high-intensity games. It's the injury ward that you have to have concern.
Time's on.
Well, it's Sun Yue leaving the field, the 24-year-old making her series debut, and one that might just have been cut awfully short. China, though, with the ball and 7 points to make up. It's so crisply away from the base of that one. Nothing crisp about that carry from Chen Kuyi. Such a carry, such a barreling carry that. Real boost to have her back. She wasn't involved in Krakow, but she's a real mainstay of this side. Options on the short side, and that's exactly where they go. Duzing wrong. Next to roll up her sleeves and get stuck into the Japanese defensive line. Fei Fei up and onto Hong Ting, who hurled that across the face of the Japanese defense. Now Yao Yao. A chance to appreciate the mazy feet of Zhu Jian. Flying from the line. What a tackle. Mei Otani making it count. A pile driver in the center of the park here. But still, China play so patient, so accurate. Yan Meiling straightening, drawing in the defenders, all the options to the open side here. Fei, ball in two hands, now the switch play. Kuyi gets the offload away as she falls, tackled, 2-on-1, might not need it. Here goes Gu Yao. She's got company, all right. Brilliant scramble defense, then the supporting tackle, then the support line, offload's a good one, ball out from Zhao Dian onto Du Xingron. And China with the kick to come might have just hauled themselves back into this with 30 seconds left of what has been a breathless first half of rugby.
Yeah, man, that for some continuity. The breaker, that's a nice dummy, and she hits the angle to Yao.
Japan outside.
Right about here, she starts running in concrete. But what she does is she waits for support, and this is the good thing. Good tackle chasing back, and then the support play comes. And from there, man, there was some nice passes. The last one was very good. And now conversion to even it up.
Big kick, but not sticking. There goes the hooter. Looks as though we will restart this one. Chen Kuyi has it. Two points in it, and it is a steepling kickoff. End over end she goes. Bounces up for Nakamura,
Tackle.
who pats it back volleyball style onto Hirano, her skipper. Now this is Kajiki. Kajiki again in support. There's always someone for both of these sides in support.
You've been tackled, you have to release the ball.
Not releasing. China with possession. Clock's gone red.
No need to rush here, though. That's the thing. This is a good call by the skip. She's kept her head. A lot of teams will just touch and go, but she says, no, we're going to settle this down. We're going to get our set piece going and have a proper shot. I was wondering why Japan was still playing. They'd won the game to take 2 for 2. Instead, they decided to play in China. Well, they've got one more chance at it.
We're a minute into extra time.
I reckon you've got to come wide. You've got to come this near side.
Crouch. Bind.
It's Kuyi, the three-time Asian Games medalist, the Olympian, the Rugby World Cupper, who's on the open side, but it's down the short they go. Scampering, evasive as they come. It's tricksy pixie stuff from Yang Fei. Now they unleash it. Now they find the speedsters. And how about that? A brilliant score for China right on the stroke of half-time. Du Xingron with a second try of the match, a second try in 2 minutes. What a roar back into contention for the Chinese outfit.
Oh, come from nowhere as well. All of a sudden, they flipped the switch. And then China playing some inspiring rugby sevens, and yeah, they just go bang, bang from Xingron. Oh, the confidence they'll get out of that is massive.
Well, she knows how to time her scores, does Xingron. Scored within the opening 60 seconds against Argentina to take all the pep out of their step in the final in Montevideo. And 2 timely tries there to see China hit the front at half-time in this one. It is 10 points they lead Japan, who have 7. Well, we're back into the men's qualifier event right after this. Samoa up against Chile. That should be tasty right as the sun gets low in the skies here in Madrid, where Spain will look to make it back-to-back victories for the home sides. Las Leonas were resplendent a little bit earlier on as they saw off Poland, but it's China who might be about to make the headlines next here at the Estadio Civitas Metropolitano, because they are leading Japan by 10 points to 7, and one of these sides' undefeated records in Madrid has got to go. Chen Ke-yi watches on. Hasn't she been influential over the first 7 minutes of that one, and hurling herself high to gather that restart was Mao Xiaodian. The little dummy. Tricksy play from Yan Mei-ling, and then the incisive line through the midfield from Yu Hu. Fei Fei up and on. China, remember, playing without 2 of their athletes. Yu Zhaoqian, their try-scoring machine, left the field after taking a shot. They've also lost Su Qi to what looked like it might have been a dislocated shoulder. We'll keep you updated on that one. As things stand, half of both sides piling into that breakdown. How many bodies were in that, Katie?
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, thought we were playing a game of 15s, everyone was piling in.
God forbid.
Time's up. Substitution.
The opportunity was there for Japan
black,
to counteract, but I think it was Hirano, the skipper, asking questions rather than going in. There was an opportunity, but China were able to get numbers there to reload it and save possession.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah. Time is off. Time is off, Phil.
I actually love the way Mei Ling, the Chinese skipper, has marshalled and spoken to her troops and kept their composure, especially when they're under heat. Some opportunities and very good.
Well, she's proven her leadership credentials over the course of a glittering career. She was captain at the Rugby World Cup in 2018 at the age of 21. Been to 2 of those now and an Olympic Games. Plenty of pedigree. And how about the swerve and the verve there in the midfield? It's carved open the Japanese defence and set up a peach of an overlap on this near touchline. It's juggled by Sun Yue. Didn't she do well to hold on to that and then find Ma Xiaodan there into the box office? The 22, this is where it counts. This to grow a lead which feels oh so precarious right about now. Flying from the defensive line was Tatsumi for Japan. The offload sticks. It's a galloping Ke-yi who's hauled down there 5 meters shy now. Yu Hu at the base of that one. Out it comes. Hong Ting has a support runner in Xiao Dan. And now again, a 2v1. This time, surely they'll make it stick. Through the captain. Yan Mei-ling. Scampering past would-be tacklers, and China have their third.
The crispness of the passing, though, has been fantastic from China, shifting the point of attack. This is on the far side of the field where they defensively got it wrong, Japan, but came back, made the tackle. And Ke-yi, and then this is the sharpness I was talking about. Get it out wide, get it out to the numbers, get it out to the space. And then the finish from the skip. Oh, I like the way she gets it done. A bit of swag on that finish too. Watch this. Let's take some quad strength.
I'll tell you what, we've had some good signage in the stadium here today, KT. We've had some good super fans. I think you might be a Yan Mei-ling super fan. I expect you to see you down there tomorrow with a printout of your own.
Oh, I'm getting a selfie with this for sure.
Do you want better? I'll take the picture. Make sure it's a good one.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
17 plays 7. The gap is 10. This would level up their all-time head-to-head on the series to 2 apiece. And things are just clicking for China now. Xu Xiaoyan, newly introduced, fresh legs for the women in black. Now onto the wing where Ke-yi awaits. First fend is a good one. Second one doesn't quite get the job done. And right on this touchline, they're forced to spread it once more. It's a bullet pass from Hong Ting. And another one. Yu Hu just looking to free up the flyer on the wing.
Backwards.
This time, though, Japan make their tackle stick. And at long last, they get their hands back on the ball. It's been one-way traffic since that early score from Yume Hirano. Deft interplay in the midfield. Almost saw Mei Otani with a line break. And as it was, it's narrowed in the Chinese defence. But back that way they go. Kajiki. Cheeky again, always that option.
Tackle!
3 minutes to play, 10 points the difference. They know each other so well. This would feel so sweet.
I love the spacing, though, from China defensively. Not over-chasing, getting in between, and making it difficult for Japan to get it to their support players because China are getting into the supporting lines and holes, and it's making it very difficult for Japan to employ their natural game. So they're going to have to change that up a bit. But you can see the effort both sides are putting a lot of hands on hips.
Two white, sub, 2.
Well, we've had 34 tackles already in this one. It's been pretty frenetic.
Here's the middle.
These are two of the fittest sides in World Sevens. And they will go at it hammer and tongs for all 14 minutes.
I think this is the game here if China score. There'll be 2 World Series scalps they've taken on day 1, so this is a big moment for them.
Well, they did warn us. Points perfect on the challenger. Full 20 points at each of the stops: Dubai, Montevideo and Krakow. They're back in the 22 where they are just lethal. 86% of their visits on the series resulted in tries. As Zinrong scampers around and finds the woman on her shoulders, Sun Yue. Well, that foray didn't result in points, but they're back in it. Quick as you like, quick as a blink. Kuyi lofting it onto Zinrong. Then Yue again. Little hitch step there from Zhao Yan, just full of confidence and pep. They are feeling and loving their rugby.
Holding.
On this occasion, they come on stock and the ball is back with Japan, who've got plenty of time to enact the comeback here. They foiled those last few attacking thrusts from the Chinese. And there's one of those trademark two-handed offloads. Screaming for it there was Otani, and she heads back against the grain, inside step.
Good counter-ruck.
Counter-ruck from China. Their defensive work, you're right, KT, along with their attacking stuff, and it sees them back in possession, back hunting for a 4 again. There's 2 penalties in quick succession, though, going against the challenger outfit. Nakamura. On to Sujisaki. Now options, because running unmarked, unattended is Honoka Tsutsumi. 2 tries already for the weekend, and she's about to make it 3.
She's going to give her team a chance to win this one. They're going to have a restart. Easy as the queens of the comeback. Late are the Japanese. Oh, and that's unfortunate for China because they actually had possession before they gave it away with the penalty. Now it's going to be on this restart.
Thank you.
Subs made, fresh legs and cool lungs and cool heads introduced. 24 seconds to settle this one. A try for Japan might well win it. Can China withstand the tsunami coming their way? Sun Yue in the backfield, though, who makes sure that that one stays with China, who will just look to work their way deep into Japanese territory. And China survive. They don't just survive, they thrive. They have come to the summit of the sport and they have taken 2 big scalps in a brilliant few hours' work for Lu Xuan's side. That is Las Leonas defeated before their home support. That is Japan beaten by just 3 points, but every win counts. They will go top in the pool. And they will face Poland tomorrow, against whom they will have a real shout. What do you mean? Let's get rocking and rolling again, Jamie. This place has been rocking for hours now. It is getting louder and louder in this fabulous and famous stadium. And it's time to hurl ourselves back into the rugby. China up against Poland. Looks fairly straightforward on paper, but we do want to update you on China's injury situation. Liu Xiaoqian and Su Qi out for the remainder of the tournament with injuries sustained yesterday, so they are shorn of 2 of their stalwarts. Yan Meiling will continue to captain, and they do still have Gu Yao Yao, who will continue to pull the strings in the midfield, but Nushuan's side is without a few titans, which might just give an ailing Polish side a little bit of hope. The placings are pretty much set. A win for China means they cannot be caught in this pool, which means they will face Belgium tomorrow in that winner-takes-all shootout. Poland themselves are guaranteed fourth spot. They cannot move from the base of this pool, which means they will face Asyaras, Brazil, in that shootout. But there's so much pride to be played for these women here. The women in white place things at the hand of Japan and Spain. They are desperate to right those wrongs. I've got Tom Mitchell alongside me, and as we were just discussing, Tom, they really want to bring a little bit of impetus into their Sunday session, don't they?
And you said it's righting wrongs, but it's just a constant learning journey. It's a process where they're getting a taste of the big time. And they are looking like they're going to struggle to probably crack it at the end of the weekend. We're going to make the calls early. But there is so much in this for them in terms of the experience and the growth that's on offer.
China who will get us underway here at the Stadio Civitas Metropolitano. Poland awaits one final chance this weekend for these two sides before they go to the big time, before it's 14 minutes to make history.
So I reckon that's a nasty bit of the pitch to try and receive a kickoff. Last bit of sun here in the stadium, just gracing that far edge.
In the sun where all the party goers have congregated, so they'll be throwing in right before busiest bit of the stadium, and it is a wonky throw which just gifts it right back to China, who get away scot-free from that kickoff. Now they get it through the midfield, those trademark crisp passes, the poetry and motion of their attack. Back it comes through Xiao Dian, and now this is Mei Ling, the skipper. She's got options on the far wing. Yao Yao forced to pile into that breakdown to keep the ball with the women in red. A win here and they cannot be caught. So this is a case of preserving energy, wrapping some of their stars in cotton wool and doing all that they can to upend Poland and just make sure that it's Belgium they face tomorrow afternoon. It's an amazing run that went on for an eternity there from Yang Fei. Xiao Dan to the captain. Options now for Yao Yao. Will she take it herself? Will she pass it and field to her captain? She does exactly that. And Yang Mei Ling has her third of the weekend. China doing exactly what they've done all weekend long in Madrid.
An authoritative start from China. I really like this from Yang Mei Ling. Gives it, and then it's the check back, and she just runs that inside line and gets far enough through the space that a little reach out of her right hand onto the shoulder of would-be tacklers, enough to finish it off. Smart work from China, and as you say, we've become accustomed to it this weekend and across the Challenger Series this year so far.
Points perfect, China. Coming out on top in Dubai, in Montevideo and in Krakow. Only missing one beat all season long, and that was a narrow loss to Kenya in their opening fixture. Talk about momentum a lot at this stage of the season. Well, they have got it in spades. Yao Yao sends a steepling effort right down the throat of Paszczuk. It's swiftly away. There's options to the open side, but then instead, you ought to just pop it up, find the woman on the shoulders, a Hishluk. Only took up the game of rugby at 19 when a hand injury ended her tennis career. But she absolutely loves it. Never felt camaraderie like it. I'm so proud to be a part of this Polish outfit who are giving a good scrap here.
Yang Fei penalised there, going off her feet at the breakdown. Not short of intensity and endeavour, this Chinese side. That's one of the reasons why they've been so successful. But as you say, talking of fight, this Polish side will be right in and amongst it. Big space off this scrum. Can play both sides.
Set.
Big short side to attack if they choose to take it.
Hanna Malajewska, who models her game on Camille Grassino of Les Bleus, feeds the scrum. It's away swiftly, and with it now on the wing is Paszczuk. Options on either side of Yulia Druszkawa, the young orchestrator. Brilliant young playmaker. And the penalty goes the way of Poland. That's 2 in quick succession against the Chinese.
Same thing again, actually, going off feet.
Scrum option, please.
This time, Chen Kuyi. Just a bit inaccurate, a bit overzealous, over-eager, just to assert themselves in the game so far, China in defence. Poland be enjoying a couple of chances to attack early on in this. Utilise the ball off the scrum that well last time. Love to see them put this through the width. Chinese defence pretty narrow.
Little switch around, finds Druzhgawa, and then there's the second switch, the second dummy. Druzhgawa just out on the wing with no one there marking her, but the ball not recycled quickly enough. Zaishluk holds down in the shade, those shadows lengthening as Poland poke and probe and look to make inroads against this big red defensive wall.
Roll away, please.
Same pen again, round the breakdown. George Selwood not missing with the whistle. Pretty obvious from China, though. Really inaccurate, and
We clear the tackle quicker.
be giving away the pens like this. I'm just inviting a team into it. Talk about that a lot, but more importantly, perhaps, is in knockout games, penalty counts, they can kill you.
Bind.
Well, they don't come much more knockout than what we have got awaiting us in tomorrow's qualifier playoffs. Everything on the line. Druzhgawa shaped to pass there, but instead opts to straighten right up the guts of the Chinese defence. Zaishluk again, she is industrious. Just pops up everywhere, putting all of that tennis-playing footwork and fitness to use. Druzhgawa feeding the carry bot. That is Vadashka on her shoulder, and back again they go against the grain. They've maintained possession so much better today, have Poland. Really struggled to string any phases together yesterday against both Spain and Japan. Just the one try to show for their efforts. But this better, even if they're not going forwards at a rate of knots exactly. Vadashka's carry sees them reset and come once more. There's the little hitch kick from Pamięta. Natalia, the captain. Druzhgawa chases her own, but all it's done is gift possession back to China, who now have a penalty to flex. Flex it they do. They set off quickly. Mei Ling fancies another one. We'll have another one. Relentless, ruthless, ravenous. China have their third. Their second. It would help if I could count.
Well, we haven't had that many to keep count of yet, Claire, as well.
It's inexcusable.
But it's easy to count Mei Ling's tally so far in this game. She's the only one on the score sheet. And this one just off the back of a whole heap of defending. Sped Poland kept the ball for so long and then went for the kick option, which maybe wasn't the best one. Scooped up by China. Quick tap off the penalty. Despairing dive.
More passes, more carries, more rucks than China, but not a single sniff of their opponent's 22. And diddly squit to show for it. Back underway swiftly, and there's aerial acrobatics in the sunshine there on the far touchline. My word, they did very well to control that landing, did Poland, but the ball is back with China, and Yao Yao, who's so often a distributor, just finding on her shoulder Kuyi. Back rummaging swiftly, Duzin wrong. Out it comes, Mei Ling on her hat-trick. This is Fei Fei, swerving, slaloming, skinning defenders. Mei Ling again, on to Xingrong. Now Yao Yao. Here now is Kuyi, fending, stepping, scoring. And now China have three.
Well, Claire, they forced you to pretty much reel off everyone who's on the field for China. How about this for Poland? I tell you what, it's a nice bit of play from China, but talk about looking after your teammates. That is impressive. Bit of trust in that lift, wasn't there? But this to finish, really nice in the end. Chen Kuyi, good bit of footwork, the in, the out. Stood up, Pamięta went round the outside to finish off. A nice bit of passage from China.
Well, how about the core strength there from Ilona Zahishlik. And how about the conversion there too? That is a lovely nudge. 3 converted tries for the challenger champions, who are looking ominous indeed in leading this one 21 points to 0.
Naprawdę, one 3 minuty i zajmuje im to nie więcej jak 20 sekund. A my tu bardzo długo wachujemy z tą piłką, mamy karne, gdzie nie jesteśmy w stanie zrobić tego, dlatego że cały czas jesteśmy cięte. Julka, tam taki kop, no to już, zobacz, to też tak nie może być, jak ja ci mówię kop, że ty nagle kopisz kopy histeryczne. Już ja wiem, że jesteś młodziutka, ale musisz się tego nauczyć, żeby te kopy były kontrolowane. Histeryczny kop to jest oddanie piłki w taki sposób, bo to już jest tylko z histerii. To musi być plan. To musi być plan. Tylko widzicie, chłopy cały czas około zbytnią obronę. Przede wszystkim zamulamy, do raku dostajemy 4. Wy za ciasno raka jesteście wszyscy 4. To wynika albo z prawej drogi, albo z tej...
Well, we've been talking about pools all weekend long and all the different permutations, but I'll tell you what, there's only one pool that I want to be a part of, and it is that one right there. Golden hour, glinting off what I hope is a highly chlorinated surface, and all the fun in the world. That looks an absolute riot. Well, I've got a Mitch up in commentary and we've got a Titch down on the sidelines because Gordon Titchens has swung by to join us in commentary. Gordon, thanks so much for joining us. We've got to talk about the performances yesterday because taking 2 core teams' scalps in quick succession is no mean feat. How did you assess the way that China got out of the blocks here in Madrid?
Yeah, we started pretty well. I mean, it's from a point of view, it's I suppose it's another level for us. We played in the obviously in the Challenger Series and did particularly well, but we've noticed the intensity and certainly with the teams that we have here that we've got the games a lot quicker for our girls and that, so it's adjusting to that. But we come out with 2 wins yesterday, which was great.
And Tish, you said one of the step-ups is definitely the physicality. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've tried to prepare for the additional physicality at this level?
Well, we took a lot of the girls to the Hong Kong 10s they have a lot of one-off runners there, and we needed to get in a mixer with the girls there, and we did that. We did particularly well, and it was a real learning curve considering they hadn't played 10s before, and just about building depth within China, and they've got some really great skill sets, and they've played particularly well here, but it's but sevens, as we all know, it's a tough game, and on any given day any team can beat any team, so we don't take any games for granted.
Tish, I know you like to work a team hard, you like to really put a team through their paces. How do these girls respond to that?
Yeah, mate, if I asked them to run 100 links with 100 press-ups, I'd do it,
I bet you do as well.
Yeah, but they're a great bunch of girls to coach. They're fantastic, and they're going particularly well here, and obviously we're going to have a really big game tomorrow, and our goal is, of course, to get into the World Series, and everything's going, on track at the moment, but as I said, it can come down to one game, and we're battling injuries at the moment. We're down to 10 players and a couple of real key players as well. But the other girls are stepping up in this game against Poland, so that's pleasing.
Well, then one final thing to ask you in that case. You've mentioned the injuries and player management. Is there anyone on your injury list that we might see back again tomorrow, or will you have 10 for the game?
No, we've got a shoulder dislocation with one girl's knocked unconscious and one girl's missed a HIA, so we don't think so. The players that we've got out here now will be the players that will be playing tomorrow.
Well, we're unsurprised and delighted to hear that you're taking their health seriously and making sure they get the rest that they require. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your insight. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, whilst we were chatting to Gordon, it was Hu Ye who added to China's haul. 28 points to 0. They've been pinpoint off the tee as well. Poland yet to respond and still just limited to 1 try for the weekend. Belgium up tomorrow for China, assuming that they see this win home and hose, Mitch. even with 10 players, do you back these women in red to get the job done?
They certainly looked like the strongest team in this comp. You wouldn't want to bet against them. But it is a challenge with 10 players. You don't have the luxury of bringing fresh legs on. It's another night they've got to go to see. The mental, the physical fatigue has to be managed expertly if they're going to keep something in the tank. But that said, it's one game, and all these players will be giving their absolute all and squeezing everything they have left for that match.
Well, if you can run 100 lengths with a press up at each one of them, as you've just given Titch as a future conditioning session, you can do absolutely anything.
It's not future conditioning. I'm pretty sure he's run that with his teams before.
That is ghastly, and that is beautiful. From the ridiculous up in commentary to the sublime down on the pitch, Chen Ke-yi has just finished off one of the most incisive, laser-sharp moves you will see all weekend. China are so clinical at their best.
Well, it is a cut of the sharpest order. Really nice little angle. Cut back from Chen Ke-yi. When they're up and running, they've got pace on the ball and they're running on the widths. Very, very hard to keep track of them.
Well, the number 7 missed Krakow. She was given a rest for that competition, but such a boost to have her back, particularly now with Liu Xiaoqian out injured, having been knocked out cold yesterday, we've now learned. But 9 tries in Dubai and in Montevideo. She's a 3-time Asian Games medalist, the World Cupper, an Olympian. She'll wear that mantle well.
It's interesting for China. They're running away a little bit with this one, but you've got to remember that they've already been in some really tight games against Spain, against Japan. So actually, they've had both ends of the spectrum, which for me tees them up really nicely for tomorrow.
You're dead right. They've learned to problem solve. They've learned to play under duress. And they can pile everybody in here to put some pressure on Poland to at last get their hands on it. It's been a wee while since Poland had a crack, and we still haven't seen them visit the Chinese 22. So smothering has been the possession play and the defence of Liu Zhao's side.
Just so few reads from the Chinese defence. You look at them, they're staying so square in defence, shoulders and hips, really upfield, just no reads for Poland. They've been forced into the kick option.
The kick lands right in the awaiting arms of Mao Xiaodan, who ships it up and on to Sun Yue. Finds the way is thick with white jerseys, so shapes to go back in field, but instead then goes towards the Polish defence. Zinrong next to have a go. Got the luxury of being at the top of this pool, and with a huge points buffer now, China, they can just go through the motions.
Cycle.
Peeping round corners,
use it.
Examining this Polish defence, and if they find it wanting for even a second, you can bet there will be a red jersey away and clear. Guyao beckons, ushering bodies round to the left, and now they've got the penalty to flex. It's a messy bouncing ball. Back we come for the penalty.
Scrum option, please.
Wonder what they'll go for off the scrum options. Probably a few things they might want to held back for the big game tomorrow. Maybe a couple of trick plays. Who knows what they've been working on the training park. You want to keep a few of your cards close to your chest, maybe, for the big moments.
Real width on these passes. And now the switch play. Oh, it just works. An absolute dream. Eyes on the prize. China wouldn't know a skipped beat if one of them fell from the sky and hit them. They have just been points perfect this weekend, as they have been all season long.
And this is as simple as it gets. There's no trick play about this off the set piece. Just a simple drag and cut, but it's done to perfection. Really nice timing. That's the kind of continuity in play which really gives you confidence. Scoreline aside, it's the kind of stuff that'll make him feel good going into Sunday.
As the clock ticks down and the points rack up for the side who came in here as the challenger team that you really didn't want to meet in Sunday's playoffs. China have hit 40. It's by some margin their largest haul of the weekend, but just to remind you, they did knock off 2 core teams yesterday in Las Leonas and the Sakura Sevens. That one just skittling through the arms there of Olivia Krishak. And China decide enough is enough, and who fits into the stands? Well, it is all going perfectly according to plan. 3 tournament wins on the Challenger, 3 wins here in Madrid, including a pair of giant scalps. And they are 1 victory away from getting their first invite to next season's big dance since 2015. Full time in this one. China have done it. 40 points to 0. Well, it has been mightily impressive from China all season long. Ever since that first falter from the blocks against Kenya in Dubai, they have just done exactly what they have wanted in pretty much everything they've come up against. And I'm delighted to say that Chen Ke-yi has stopped by to have a chat with Philippa.
All right, Chen Ke-yi, another win for you, undefeated so far. How does that feel?
I feel good, really good. And I feel so excited, yeah.
And it's all about tomorrow, which is knockout rugby. How are you feeling about
that? Tomorrow is the most important game for us for this tournament, so we have to win, yeah.
You've got lots of fans here, but people at home watching you. Yeah. Do you have a message for them?
Yes, can I speak Chinese? Yeah. 谢谢大家的关注，然后我知道现在也很晚了，谢谢大家持续的收看，希望明天能够继续在电视机转播前为我们加油。
Well done. Enjoy. Rest up. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Job done, and then some. 40 points to 0. And we will see China tomorrow, and they will take on Belgium with a spot on us. Thank you very much, Ricky. Well, you find us on the precipice of our grand final in Madrid, where 16 teams teeter. Right now, there are 8 core and 8 challenger sides alive and fighting, but we're a couple of hours away from knowing who will have clinched core status for next season. First up, the women's side, who've really shown us how it's done, dominating the Challenger Series from gun to take and sewing up top spot in a congested pool. China are heavy favourites for this one, despite having just 10 fit players. Belgium was second in last year's Challenger and third in 2024. They're missing a fair few mainstays of their own and haven't managed a win all weekend. On the other side of the coin, China managed to scalp both Las Leonas and the Sakura Sevens before thumping Poland in their final game of the pool stage. Overseeing this one is Cisco Lopez of the United States. We have got 8 of these showdowns coming up for you. Don't you go anywhere. There is so much at stake in the Spanish sunshine as China gets us up and running, all in red. And playing towards the Belgium side. Resplendent in white, dazzling in the Estadio Civitas Metropolitano. Guyayao, for the final time this season, raises, drops and thumps the ball towards an opposition. Only one side have had the better of China all year long. Kenya in their opening match of the campaign in Dubai at the start of the year. They have been all conquering ever since, but it all comes down to this. What's gone before no longer matters as Cecile Blondiot, the Belgium skipper, fizzes it through the midfield onto one of the Margos. This one, Lally, then the little pop up and pass from Margot Stevens. She has Emily Mouche in support. Down to just 10 fit athletes. The Belgians, they've struggled desperately for injuries ever since Femke Seuns broke her hand in the captain's run the day before things kicked off there. But they've talked a lot about adversity, Emile Merkt, their coach, says. They've planned for scenarios like this. They've talked about what it will take, the depths they will need to go to, the resolve they will need to draw upon. They've done well to maintain such possession at the start of this one. Nele Pian is the latest to have a carry, and there's acres of space in the midfield there. The pass was pinpoint, set up a little 2-on-2 just before our commentary position, but snaffled by Chen Ke-yi, who's been pulling up trees this weekend. 22 points already for the woman wearing 7 for Lu Juan's side. And it's their captain, their leading try scorer here in Madrid. Yan Mei Ling to the breakdown, whips it out where the glut of bodies are. There's so many options here, and now China start to show their shapes and their patterns and do what they've done all season long on the Challenger. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's intricate, and more often than not, it results in a score. The waves, the white waves part, and crashing over is Ma Xiaodan. It's her first try of the weekend, and it is in the match which matters the most.
Yeah, it certainly does. Like you mentioned, it was a really good bit of possession initially from Belgium, but they didn't do much with it. China get their first real attack, and they are clinical with it. I just feel like Belgium are playing very deep at the moment. The quality of pass is good, but actually China can just sort of sit back and watch what's unfolding in front of them. It's not really challenging them or forcing to lose their shape in defence.
Well, they met just once on the Challenger Series this year, that semi-final in Krakow, which China went on to win, as they have done all year long. The stats very similar, apart from the one critical metric, which was number of carries and passes it took to manufacture a line break, and then the efficiency off the back of it. China were one shot, one kill on that occasion, and got the job done. But penalty goes the way of Belgium, and it's Margot Stavins who has the ball now. Philippa, if you were one of the coaches of these sides, irrespective of which team you were leading, how would you frame a 14 minutes like this so that the intensity and the intent are there, but there's no panic, there's no overwhelming sense of pressure?
Gosh, you know what? There's two contrasting styles. For one, you could go in saying, guys, this is just another game. Don't overthink it, just play your thing. For the other side, if you know that team likes pressure, they like building up the occasion, then say your lives can literally change off the back of this game. Embrace it, enjoy it.
Two very different schools of thought. As Nella Pian, it's a trademark meaty chug towards the Chinese defence. That's just about, I wondered if that might have gone backwards off Naomi van der Perle's hand, but the touch judge says otherwise. Gordon Titchens, a member of the performance staff in this Chinese outfit, watching on.
The middle's over here.
We caught up with him yesterday. He joined us mid-match and spoke about the depth of talent within that squad, and not just talent, Philippa, but endeavour. And you know that with China, you will get gun to take 14 minutes of all-out effort.
Set.
All-out effort, very process-driven, very drilled team, very organised team.
Yao Yao finding Jingrong on a direct line. They've not got their main try scorer on the Challenger Series, no Liu Xiaoqian, but they do have plenty of other threats, and here is one of them, Yang Feifei, carrying up that channel, gets the big fend away before eventually hauled to turf. But now on a scything run, this is Jinrong again, but the ball squirts from her hands, an uncharacteristic error from a Chinese side who are normally so pinpoint.
Yeah, you would have guaranteed this would have been a try, wouldn't you? You can see the connection there, it's just the lift, not enough on the lift there.
Well, Belgium are tired. Playing this entire competition with 11 women, but it's easy to go to the well when there's core series status on the line and just 14 minutes in which to win it. Moosh to a breakdown which ultimately went the way of the Chinese. Taking it quickly is their scrum half, Yang Feifei. With the kick to come, might just have doubled China's lead.
You don't get much more clinical than that. Oh, frustration for Belgium. They defended so well, but just the quick tap, getting the Belgium defence guessing. Just that subtle little movement of the ball.
They've been pretty accurate with those conversions all weekend long. The Chinese, that one sails over to 14 plays 0. And we've not seen Belgium down the other end of the pitch once, despite that early possession. And this really is a crucial game for both sides because neither of them have also secured Olympic qualification. Belgium's hopes of that are over. They're not even going to the repechage, and China will have to go to Monaco in a few weeks' time if they are to book their spot at a second Olympic Games. So all the eggs in the core series basket. A fine platform here for Emile Vermoet's side.
Scrum option.
30 seconds just before the half. This is huge. You know, as much as Belgium, they haven't won a game this weekend, they've managed to score in each game. So that tells me that they can impose their game against anyone. It's just getting that key possession, and this is a really good spell of possession now for him. This is an opportunity.
Set.
Opportunity, one of Vermoet's buzzwords. He's such a positive guy. He says always looks for opportunities, learnings, takeaways. And now here they set through Mouche. She is so tall and strong, really makes her presence felt. Normally used as an impact player off the bench, but in a starting role today, seeing how shorn they are of their star individuals. Blondio throws a desperate backdoor offload, and then it's to circle round in his acting scrum half. She's got support on the blind side. In scurries, Pauline Jarnay. China offsides. That's their second penalty now. And they call for
No. 10.
the kicks to touch.
I misunderstood.
Margot Lally
Kick
brings the ball on to Nella Pien, who's really had to step up in the absence of Cerns, but she doesn't find touch. It stays in field, but the kick chase from Lally, not enough. Trying to get away with one there, and they will head to the sheds, leading by 2 converted tries. Yang Feifei and Ma Xiao Dan scorching over for the side that won the Challenger Series to establish a healthy half-time lead.
En attaque, we know what to do. We're actually executing perfectly. D'accord, peut-être le petit côté, on peut partir un peu plus de l'autre côté. If it's really tight, let's just go the other way around and garde notre patience. Construisons. If we have the ball, we're just building and we're going, right? Moi, juste un mot sur solidarité. Just solidarity. If we do an action, it's 100%. Elles sont en train de plier, les filles. We have 7 minutes now. 7 minutes, the last minutes, so let's go.
Coming up next is Spain up against South Africa. 2 core series ties clashing. Japan against Las Jaguaretes of Argentina. And then to bring the curtain down, Poland take on As Yaras of Brazil. Those are 14 winner takes all minutes. But we've just heard Emile Vermoet, the former Bell Sevens captain himself, telling his women 7 minutes. That is all that remains of their season, of their campaign, of their bid to be a core series nation next year. The deficit's only 14. It's very much surmountable. He told them to commit to every action. So, how's their kickoff? Scuttling and bouncing and gathered by Yuhu. Now this is Yao, and again, these slightly uncharacteristic errors just creeping into China's game, and now it's their turn to play from deep.
Tackle!
Pien with the tackle. Up rushes the Belgium defence. China, though, looking to find a little gap through the middle. Mouche had to make that tackle. Offload gets away to Kuyi. Back she places it. Looks like there was lots of space down the short side there, but they head open, do China. Now Mei Ling puts the pass on a plate for the woman out on the wing. Here is Zhu Yan. Mei Ling, the captain, unearths it, Rutling, fizzes it out. Strong carry. Better support line still. Blondio, desperate. Campaign maintaining tackle, but doesn't roll away. There's the penalty, and the quick tap by Yuhu, who sets off on a mazy, arcing, tricksy, devastating run. The women in red have their third. And now Belgium found themselves standing at the base of a mountain with 6 minutes remaining.
I think you can start to see that fatigue element where Belgium unfortunately didn't have the full squad to be able to recycle players throughout this tournament. You can see that taking effect now. A lot of players are just taking that extra couple of seconds on the ground. You can see some heavy legs, and China, although they've had some injury worries as well, are looking the fitter team.
China, who've been a core team twice before in the 2014-15 season and then back in 2019, are 5 minutes away from returning to the big time.
They actually beat us, Wales, in 2018 to get that 2019 core placement. But I'm not bitter, I've forgotten about it. It's fine.
It is a lofty, vertiginous restart, and clattered on the catch is Naomi van der Perle. She took a real body blow yesterday in one of the games, actually. She's made of stern stuff to even be back out here. Belgium are made of stern stuff, and here they come now through one of their young playmakers, Van der Perle. Blondio, top try scorer on the Challenger last year. And now this is Margot Lally, who's their strength and conditioning coach, as well as their number one.
Advantage.
Ball, though, knocked on. Scrum advantage
First
the way of
backwards,
China.
Then knocked on.
And they will be camped right in Belgium's 22 for this put-in.
Being very composed, aren't they? They're not forcing things. Just keeping hold of the ball, pressurising Belgium with possession.
Subs. 5 red.
Busy month ahead for the women in red. They're fresh from Krakow, mixing it here in Madrid, and then they're off to Monaco, where they'll find themselves in Pool C with Poland, Czechia, and Mexico.
Time's back on. Crouch.
Based on what we've seen this weekend, and Philip, you will be out in Monaco commentating on the competition. They'll be favourites to sew up that spot for Paris.
Oh, absolutely, and I think a competition like this, the experience they would have gained here, the momentum, the confidence, it'll really stand them in good stead.
Well, speaking of confidence, it's back-to-back scores for their number 12, Yuhu, who's been such a find for this programme. They backed her to go to the World Cup at the age of 19, and she's been a starter ever since.
Yeah, natural sevens player, isn't she? Great skill set, good fitness. Got that confidence to take her chances as well.
And Blondio looks exhausted on the chase there, out on their feet, the women in white. Four tries, 4 conversions, 28-0, 3 minutes left on this one. 2 challenger sides meeting, which means we were guaranteed a new name on the slate ahead of next season, but that one's not gone 10, not even close. Van der Perle sends it on to Lally, who's waiting in the midfield. Got to get a move on here, Belgium. Well, we had 2 challenger teams meeting in this one, which meant that by default there was going to be a clash of 2 core sides somewhere else, and it is up next. Leonas against Springbok women in less than 10 minutes' time. It's going to be tense in the extreme. 3-on-2, but not much space in which to work it. Mouche hauled end over end there by Sun Yue. Ball staying with Belgium, who are playing deep. Need to get some incisive running lines going. Need to pass the ball a little bit flatter if they're to have any chance of foxing this Chinese defence. It was straight over the top of that one.
Tackle assist after
illegally
release.
so. Here they come, desperate to debagel themselves. They will not want to be held scoreless for the first time this weekend. That's gone forwards off Mouche's hand.
Time's off. Substitutions. 3 whites and 21 to 20.
Mouche is done for the afternoon, perhaps for the campaign. So on in her place comes Luca Blomert. Made a series debut this season, the gymnastics convert.
Let's go. Crouch. Time's back on. Binds.
China within touching distance now of getting back on the series, perhaps just allowing themselves to dream, but they'll go in hunt of a 5th try before they do so. And now offsets. Dujin wrong. She's got an almighty chase from Luca Blomert. Those fresh legs rising to the fore. And it wasn't in vain. It's an effort she can be incredibly proud of. But Sun Yue is over. And that might just be the golden ticket for China.
Oh, it's a lovely initial break, isn't it? Great footwork. But what about the chase back from Belgium? Didn't make it there, but it's the next tackler in. She chases back from across the field, makes the hit. But then it was the quick recycling there. Look, makes the tackle straight up onto her feet. Really good work ethic, but it's the recycling speed. That ball was barely touching the ground for a split second before China whipped it up and got it away.
Brilliant guts and hearts and lungs and legs on Luca Blomert. The Dubai Hurricane plays alongside her mum Elke in that domestic side. She's moved to Belgium to take up this opportunity with the programme. When I spoke to Vermont earlier in the week, he was at pains to state just how much this young group will take from this opportunity. Even if they are back to the drawing board, back trying to qualify for the Challenger Series next year, they've learned a lot this year. They can be proud of that turnover there. 10 seconds remaining on this one. It's a fatigued fend from Shari Klaas, who's been battling an injury concern of her own all weekend. And now the fend and the step from Blomert, who's arrived like a hurricane, like a Dubai hurricane, onto the field. Really made an impact. Lally sends it out. Wouldn't it mean the world if Belgium can finish with a score? But that just speaks volumes. China are home and host. But they still made their shot. They still denied Belgium a score. And they have been irresistible this year. Their ascent has felt inevitable. And they are back at the summit of the sport after a year in which they scarcely put a foot wrong. The first qualifier shootout is complete, and it was China's quick draw which was the most blistering. Belgium heartbroken, but it's delight for the women in red, who we will see next year on the HSBC 7 circuit. China flying from the traps in Dubai, victorious in Montevideo, lifting the trophy in Krakow, and now lifting themselves right up to the pinnacle of rugby sevens here in Madrid. 33 points to nil, that one finished. A suitably emphatic scoreline for an almightily impressive Chinese team. They bow to the stands, a show of gratitude and of unity, because it is job done and then some, and without some of their stars too. No Roan Hong Ting for this one, no Lu Xiaoqian and no Su Qi. But they've managed it. We will see them on the series next year, and a delighted, I imagine, Chen Ke-yi has found herself touchline with Rupert.
Ke-yi, congratulations. You've achieved your goal. You are a core nation in HSBC Sevens next season. You must be so pleased.
Yeah, I'm so happy, and we're so happy. Yesterday we talked about this. We want to travel the world next year. Yeah, we did it.
What does this mean for China rugby as a whole, for you to be back in the elite level?
Okay. Since 2019, we're out of the World Series. Yeah, so we want to come back and play against the high performance team again. Yeah.
And you've looked unbeatable this weekend. You've swept all aside, and you go to Monaco for the Olympic qualifier. You must be feeling confident ahead of that as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I think we are confident now, because we win every game step by step. Yeah, so we are full of confidence, and I believe we can win the qualification.
Give us a word on Rocky Khan and Sir Gordon Titchens, players we know well on the series, and what difference have they made to your program?
More discipline. Yeah, they told us we need more discipline on the field.
I'll let you go and celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chen Ke-yi with Rupert there as Gordon Titchens watches on. Must be immensely proud of the way they've conducted themselves throughout this series. Well, they've got to wait. Hold the photo, because you've not got your number 7 just yet. Chen Ke-yi is in with her teammates, and they are up. They are qualified for the HSBC Sevens in 2025. We want to travel the world. She just told us, well, they'll be doing that next year, all right. There are sides, Lu Xuan told us during the Challenger, who bring joy into everything they do, into every single training session. They can let that joy overflow now because they have sewn up a spot on next year's series.